It's been a tragic weekend here at Brands Hatch. As many of you will know, of the accident that took place during a race on Saturday, which very sadly claimed the life of Rob Foote, a volunteer marshal. Motorsports is dangerous, as we all know. It says it on your ticket when you enter the venue, on signs around the circuits. And sadly, that element of danger was tragically brought home to us here at Brands Hatch on Saturday. It was brought home particularly hard by the loss of a volunteer marshal. Marshals, the Orange Army as they're known, are the lifeblood of British and world motorsports. Quite simply, we could not go racing without them. Men and women from all walks of life and all backgrounds give up their time to ensure that our heroes can race. And they certainly are heroes themselves, standing out for long hours in all conditions, on their posts waving their flags and looking after the safety of our favourite motor racing heroes. Sadly, yesterday, one of our marshals did not return from his post. Brands Hatch gathers in tribute to Rob Foote here today. Saturday's racing was abandoned, but it has been decided that the show must go on here at Brands Hatch today to honour the memory of Rob Foote and in tribute to the Orange Army, our army of volunteer marshals that make racing possible, both across the UK and around the world in motorsports. Rob Foote had marshalled for a number of years, was also a qualified scrutineer, came from Surrey, a qualified engineer working on aircraft among other things, was also a former mayor of the town of Epsom in Surrey, worked as a driver for Epsom Coaches and was also a keen caravanner with his wife Rosemary. Certainly a man with many interests and passions in life and had time for everyone. To Rosemary and his family and his many friends in motorsport and beyond, we extend our thoughts and condolences, and we race on in tribute to Rob Foote and in tribute to all of his friends in the Orange Army here at Brands Hatch today. This one is for our volunteer marshals.
Hello and welcome to Full Throttle. We are in the Kent countryside at Brands Hatch, one of the most iconic race circuits in the UK, if not the world. And we have a double header of action for you this afternoon. First of all, the Britcar Endurance Championship is the trophy category today, and they are joined by the BMW Kumho Championship. If you like motorsport, if you like it fast, and if you like it pretty nice and sunny, stay with us. But before we get anywhere, let's hand over to your commentator, Dave Goddard.
Well, the show does indeed go on here at Brands Hatch today. This meeting racing on in tribute to our volunteer marshals, the Orange Army, here on the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit in good weather. Had quite changeable weather over the course of the weekend, but conditions currently set fair to go racing. We begin today's race programme with the Kumho Tyres BMW Championship for the first of their two races here today. That's followed by the Goodyear Britcar Endurance Championship trophy category. First of their two races today, a 50-minute race with a mandatory pit stop. Then we've got the Junior Saloon Car Championship, the young guns, 14 to 17 years of age, in their Citroën Saxos. They're always very action-packed indeed. That's followed by a second race for the Kumho BMW Championship, the grid based on the results of the first race, and then it's a second race later on for the Goodyear Britcar Endurance Championship trophy category. Various GT and saloon cars competing in another 50-minute race with a mandatory pit stop. So a great programme of racing here on the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit here today. Right, next up then we have the first of two races today for the Kumho Tyres BMW Championship. Kumho Tyres have supported this championship run by the BMW Racing Drivers Club for many years. Open to all models of BMW, and BMW Minis we're seeing racing with the series now this year as well. 4 classes in this one, and it's invitation class runner Niall Bradley, locally based racer from Chatham in Kent, who has taken pole position alongside James Card in car number 32, the man from the North Midlands. Second row, Brad Sheehan in number 28, the championship leader coming into this round, leading Class A as well. Alongside him, Jason West making a return to the series today, car number 76. Don't think we've seen him out since the opening round at Donington. Third row, ex-single-seater racer Michael Vitulli, number 89, alongside 48, Darren Morgan-Owen. Fourth row, 26, Brian Branson, 66, Paul Wood. On the fifth row, Max Walton, number 74, and 78 of Ronan Bradley. I believe he's Niall's brother. Sixth row is Kevin Denwood, number 7, and 25, the chairman of the BMW Racing Drivers Club, Trevor Ford. Seventh row, number 190 of Alan Lee, in the only BMW Mini out there, alongside Cavan Granger, number 37, and number 50, Pete Miller, completes the grid. Well, the car's heading off for their green flag lap, and we can hear from our pole sitter, I believe, down in the paddock. We spoke to him earlier with Ewan Dunlop.
Okay, you're here with Niall Bradley in Parc Fermé. You've just got pole position in the BMW now. How was your lap for you?
Yeah, it felt good. New tyres. The last time we raced here we had old tyres from like 2019. So we just got a new set on Saturday morning to try them out. Car felt good. There's a little bit more in it, but not loads. But no, it felt good. Felt really good.
So what do you do between now and the race day?
Well, I think our first race is at 11 o'clock. I'll not do very much, to be honest. Quick torque, quick fluid check, bit of fuel. Maybe a little tweaks, but we might just leave it alone.
Now, you're here on an invitation. Talk to us about how you got here today.
Yeah, basically it's a local circuit for me. I've raced a few times now with the Kumho lads. Really like the championship. Trevor, the organiser, is spot on. Really nice fella. So yeah, I normally race on BMW Car Club, which is primarily the difference between the two. Mostly is that Car Club's treaded Kumho slicks. So yeah, just jumping around, just a bit of testing and see what we think. And
fantastic. Niall, pole position, congratulations, good luck in the race this afternoon.
Thank you very much, James.
So the cars head up to the grid then for the first of 2 races today. This will be a 20-minute race for the Kumho Tyres BMW Championship. Niall Bradley, number 47, the green and white M3 on pole. Most of the cars out there either M3s or E46 compacts. Watch out for Michael Vitulli on the third row of the grid, the red car, number 89. 48 of Darren Morgan-Owen, currently second in the points in Class A, ahead of James Card. James, usually one of the quickest races. He's had some mechanical gremlins. I believe it was electrical problems with this car earlier in the season, the silver machine. The second row, number 28, that's Brad Sheehan in the, I think that's a Days of Thunder inspired livery, the pink and white machine. As the last couple of cars line up at the back of the grid for this 20-minute race for the Kumho Tyres BMW Championship. Look out also for Jason West in the G Sports prepared car. Good to see him back in the championship for the first time in a couple of rounds. Waiting for the red lights to come on then. This will be a 20-minute race for the big Beamers. Away they go. Decent start by Niall Bradley from pole position. A poor start by Brad Sheehan. He's gone right the way down the order as they head into Paddock Bend for the first time. And Brad Sheehan's lost about half a dozen places there off the line. Jason West on the outside there of Darren Morgan-Owen, the white number 48's car. And it's Bradley who leads the way. Michael Vitulli, big lock up there. He made a super start up into second place ahead of James Card. Then it's Jason West, Darren Morgan-Owen, and sideways there. He could have had a spin there for somebody further back in the order. I think that was Paul Wood in the black and yellow car. No, he saved it. I thought he was going to spin coming off Druids there. Good save by Paul Wood as Michael Vitulli attacks for the lead. They're all round the first half lap okay. M3s to the fore from Class A. First 2 breaking away a little. Niall Bradley will lead the first lap then, leading Class A. It is Michael Vitulli. He's going to try and go for the overall lead here into paddock for the second time. Third is James Card, then it's Jason West. A cloud of smoke there as he locks up. That's Darren Morgan-Owen in 5th position. Brad Sheehan to the inside on Darren Morgan-Owen into Paddock Bend there. Has he got the move done? We'll see in the background. He's gone wide on the exit. James Card under fire from Jason West. There's battles everywhere you look in the leading positions in this Kumho BMW Championship race. I think Brad Sheehan had just about got the move done there on Darren Morgan-Owen. There go the leaders, and yes, Brad Sheehan is up into 5th position now. Behind them, it is Paul Wood as Morgan-Owen fights back. They're sliding all over the place, that trio. Here's the battle for the lead up towards Druids Hill Bend. And here comes Brad Sheehan. There is the distinctive pink and white machine. Very much a NASCAR-inspired paint job. You can tell from the numbers, taken, I believe, from the film Days of Thunder. He's certainly thundering back up the order here is Brad Sheehan, the man from Horsham. Starting to close in on Jason West for 4th place. It's Michael Vitulli in 2nd place still, and he leads Class A for the all-important points. Bit of a lock-up there into paddock. And now the trio who've been battling all race long are going to have to watch their mirrors. Here comes Brad Sheehan. He's going to go for the inside here, up into Druids, side by side with Jason West. Can he get 4th position? He's up on the curb slightly there. Little bit of a rub as they come through Druids, but through goes Sheehan. Well, as they say in Days of Thunder, Rubbins Racing. 1 place made up by Brad Sheehan. Next target is James Card, the man from Nottingham. His late father Roger Card raced in this championship for many years. Oh, somebody off there in the background, that was Pete Miller, and he's lost his front splitter as a result of going over the grass, and Brad Sheehan goes off. Sheehan goes off there, coming into clearways. Now, has he survived that? There's a great cloud of smoke as well that's going into the paddock. It's hard to know where to look here. Brad Sheehan, yeah, he went into the gravel there. He's got going again, but he's lost a lot of ground. Brad Sheehan has gone off. Meanwhile, Pete Miller has, well, whether that's a blown engine or whether he's blown the radiator when he went off onto the grass. Great cloud of smoke there. Let's hope there's no fluid down on Cooper Straight. It all happened there. It was hard to know where to look because Brad Sheehan just suddenly went wide onto the gravel coming out of McLaren into clearways, and he's lost all that ground he made up. There he is. He is behind Paul Wood. He's down to 7th place. He's got to start all over again. Brad Sheehan coming to make up a place. He's nearly boxed in by Trevor Ford there as he laps him for a 2nd time. He's already been past him once. Now he's got it all to do again. Yes, the oil flags are out. You can see there Pete Miller has blown up in number 50. There is oil on the circuits coming into Surtees, and Sheehan's off again. He's heading for the pits this time. Yeah, there's damage to the 28 car. What a shame for Brad Sheehan. Gavin Granger on the inside. Michael Vitulli had to go over the dirt there on the outside now. Here's our Class B leader. We've not seen him so far. Kevin Denwood, number 7. Chasing Max Walton in the number 74 car. I think Max is a lap ahead of him, though. Yes, the Class A cars lapping the Class Bs. And Kevin Denwood has a handy lead in Class B over Trevor Ford. The other Class B runner, Pete Miller, out of the race. Chased here by James Card. The gap between them, 0.3 of a second. A further 0.3 back is Jason West. And James Card had a brief look there going into Druids. He's now starting to turn up the wick on Michael Vitulli. This is for maximum points, of course, in Class A. Oh, and there's contact. Michael Vitulli into the side of the BMW Mini of Alan Lee, who didn't see him there at Graham Hill Bend. The BMW Mini spins off. Now, is Vitulli damaged? Yes, he is. He's off on the inside of the Cooper Straight. So James Card takes leave. We've got somebody else off in the background there I can see at paddock. I think that's Max Walton. My goodness me, it's all happened here with less than 4 minutes of the race to go. So Max Walton has gone off at Paddock Hill Bend into the gravel. James Card now leads Class A, and he's 2nd overall. And I think Darren Morgan-Owen through to 4th, but the red flag is coming out. Okay, with less than 3 minutes to go, the red flag is out. There's the reason. Max Walton stranded in the gravel at Paddock Hill Bend. Now we'll have to wait and see what happens, because at the same moment Michael Vitulli hit that back marker and lost 2nd place. Now will that be restored on countback? It happened at the same time as Max Walton went off. We know that the red flag, I'd imagine that will be a declared result because there were just over 3 minutes left on the clock. I imagine that will mean Niall Bradley is our winner. We'll wait to confirm the rest of the results because it may be counted back a lap. So awaiting confirmation on the result there. A rather incident-packed Kumho BMW Championship race. Yes, the checkered flag is shown on the timing screen, so I think that means result declared. Well, the results of that race taken back a lap due to Max Walton's excursion into the gravel. The result declared with a win for invitation class runner Niall Bradley, Michael Vitulli in second place and James Card in third. So the result declared 1 lap back. Jason West fourth ahead of Darren Morgan-Owen, with Paul Wood completing the top 6. Brian Bransom in 7th ahead of Ronan Bradley. Then Kevin Denwood taking the win in Class B in 9th place. Trevor Ford and Cavan Granger the other finishers. Max Walton not classified due to bringing out the red flag, and we lost Alan Lee, Brad Sheehan after his off mid-race, and Pete Miller, of course, with that blow-up midway through. OK, I think we can hand down to Parc Ferme now with Ewan Dunlop, and I think he's got our race winner, Niall Bradley, down in Parc Ferme.
We are in Parc Ferme with Niall Bradley, invitation and overall winner in the race today. Talk us through your laps.
Yeah, it was all about the start really. I've had a few bad experiences starting off pole here. So yeah, once I got my nose in front and got into turn 1 and I seen it was still in front, I thought, right, get your head down now. And then it was just sort of managing it from there in, to be honest. But when the fluid came out, we had a very, very big moment going in through 30, so I thought it was all over at that point. But yeah, we managed to hold in, but a great race. Great.
And a premature end to the race. Were you aware of what was going on behind you?
No, I didn't. To be honest, I've seen some of it. There was some of the back markers I was trying to get through myself, but I didn't actually see what actually fully happened from behind me now, to be honest. But yeah, I was just trying to keep looking in front and keep my head down.
Well, it's a winning class and a win in the overall race, so congratulations. So if you're enjoying the action at Brands Hatch, which I'm certain you are, don't go anywhere. We've got more noise, more thrills, more entertainment coming up after this short break.
Welcome back to Full Throttle and welcome back to Brands Hatch. Still plenty more racing to come here on the Indy circuit. Next up on track today, we will have the first race for the Goodyear Britcar Endurance Championship Trophy category, a 50-minute race with a mandatory pit stop for a variety of saloon and GT cars. And they are followed by the Junior Saloon Car Championship, 14 to 17-year-olds in identical Citroën Saxos. That one set to be a cracker. But next up, we go Britcar racing, 50 minutes with a mandatory pit stop. Let's have a look at the grid then. In pole position it is the Woodrow Motorsport number 10 BMW. Kevin Clark will be starting that car. Simon Baker will take over, looking for their 5th win of the season. Alongside them, 74, looking for his 1st win of the season, Mark Lee in the SVG Ginetta. The second row, 111, the Datum Motorsports Ginetta G55. I believe Axel van Nederveen is driving solo in that car. That had a double win at Silverstone. I don't think Adriano Medeiros is here this time. Alongside the BMW from Simon Green Motorsport number 40, Jasvir Sapra will start. Brian Bransom takes over. The third row, number 98, the second Simon Green Motorsport car of Lee Frost and Lucky Kira. Lee Frost will take the start, starting alongside Steve Rothery in his Peugeot 308. He drives solo. The fourth row, number 2, Peter Spano will start the Ramen Racing Ginetta. Andrew Bentley takes over, alongside number 14, Terry Stevens. He's in a Peugeot 308. Row 5, the County Classics Porsche, Class 2 points leader Richard Higgins starts alongside the Team Brit BMW, which is started by Andrew Tucker. Charles Graham takes over. Row 6 is the PrepTech Renault Clio, the Clio Endurance car. Ryan Firth starting, Andy Mollison takes over. Alongside them, Mac G Racing. We normally see Johnny McGregor in the Endurance Championship in Trophy with his Mazda RX-8 this time. McGregor starts, Josh Tomlinson will take over. The 7th row, number 199, which is the Invitation Class Honda Civic. Ricky Kuma taking the start, sharing with Mark Simmons. Alongside number 41, the first of the Clios. Just heard from the Thompson family. Aaron Thompson will start. Dad Steve takes over. Row 8, number 19, the Reflex Ginetta G20, leading the points in Class 3. Steve Griffith starts, Jamie Vinnell-Meyer will take over, starting alongside Anton Spires in his Renault Clio, shared with Darren Gerhardt. Anton is going first. Row 9, the Chandler Motorsport VW Golf, number 35. That will be started by Andy Wheatley. Stephen Chandler takes over, alongside number 27, the Vinner Sports Ginetta of Charlotte Birch. Next on the grid on row 10, number 45, Arthur McMahon with his Honda Civic. Will start alongside the number 67 Clio of James Black from Westbourne Motorsport. On row 11, number 80, which is Anthony Hutchings in his Porsche Boxster, starting alongside the number 62 Clio. Tony Davies starts that car, James Colburn will take over. The 12th row, the Motus One number 11, which is the Clio of Steve O'Brien and Matt Cherrington. Steve O'Brien going first. The TSR VW Golf of Robert Taylor will be alongside him. Rob Taylor driving solo this weekend, co-driver Mark Jones not here. The 13th row, number 34, Alistair Lindsay with his Seat Leon, alongside number 47, the Reflex Racing Ginetta. Jamie Vinnell-Meyer starts that car. He's driving two cars in this race, and Stuart Gibbons will take over that one from him. On the 14th row, the Derek McMahon Racing number 57, the Alfa Giulietta. Paul Plant starts that car. Barry McMahon takes over. Alongside Team Brit's second BMW, Luke Pound starts. It's Bobby Trundley, normally seen in the endurance category, who shares. And the final row of the grid, number 83, the Cook family in their Honda Civic. Edward Cook starts, Steve Cook takes over, and the Mazda MX-5 invitation class runner James Chase, the Paul Sheard-run car, completes the grid. Coming round towards the green flag this time then, this first race of the day for the Goodyear Britcar Endurance Championship Trophy category. Kevin Clark in the number 10 BMW on pole, Mark Lee in the Ginetta alongside him. Just under 30 cars on the grid. The pace car is in pit lane on a very wet and slippery track here on the Brands Hatch Indy circuits. Axel van Nederveen lurking in his Ginetta on the second row. Peter Spano next in his Class 2 Ginetta as they come up towards the lights. And away they go. Down towards Paddock Bend for the first time. It is the BMW of Kevin Clark who has got the lead. Axel van Nederveen goes through into second place, and a great start by Steve Rothery up into fourth in the Peugeot 308, side by side with Mark Lee. Richard Higgins and Terry Stevens, Porsche and Peugeot, are next. Mark Lee has not got the start he wanted at all. It's Kevin Clark's BMW who leads the way. Rothery up into third place. Richard Higgins going well in the Class 2 Porsche as well. Peter Spano's dropped back slightly in his Ginetta behind the Team Brits BMW of Andy Tucker. Slip and slide their way round. Watch for Jasvir Sapra, the grey BMW. Oh, Mark Lee spun. He's backwards in the Ginetta. Hopefully everybody is going to avoid him. Yes, the pack has got through. Mark Lee will have to rejoin at the tail of the field. It's Kevin Clark who leads. It is impossibly slippery out there at the moment. See the BMW twitching there as Kevin tries to put the power down onto the Brabham straight. It's Axel van Nederveen in second place. Third is Steve Rothery. Terry Stevens fourth. And it's the smaller front-wheel drive cars that might have the advantage here. Look at the way Ryan Firth's going in the silver Clio. He's already made up 4 places on the first lap. Gets past Richard Higgins in the Porsche. And the safety car is coming out. Yellow flag's out. The safety car is being deployed. Whether that's in general due to the conditions or whether somebody's gone off, I'm not sure. Clios have got past the Honda Civic there in the battle lower down the top 10. So the safety car is out. We seem to have lost, there it is, the number 62. I was just about to say we've lost number 62, Tony Davies in the Clio. He's had an off. That's coming out of Paddock Bend, and looking at the back of the car, he's gone off into the barriers on the inside. Safety car has come into pit lane, so we are going green this time. He left it late to turn the lights off there. We're back to green flag racing. Away goes Kevin Clark. He's off like a shot over the start-finish line. Of course, the back marker behind him slowing the pack a little. We couldn't pass him before the start-finish line there, and that's allowed Ryan Firth to come through. He's got ahead of Axel van Nederveen there, the Clio up into third place. Terry Stevens Peugeot going for fourth. Steve Rothery still in second place, but using the cushion of that back marker, Kevin Clark has been able to get away. Mark Lee fighting his way back up the order after his spin. We'll have to keep an eye out for, as well as Terry Stevens runs very wide at Druids there, trying to challenge for 4th place. He won't get through there. Oh, he's got it sideways over the curb. A little bit late on the brakes there, Terry Stevens. That's going to allow Aaron Thompson to come through. Aaron had just taken the lead of the Clio class from Anton Spires on the previous lap. Similarly coloured cars, those two. Difficult to tell them apart from a distance. It is Aaron Thompson who now leads the Clios, sharing with Dad Steve. He's got ahead of Anton Spires, and now this Peugeot is in the mix as well after that mistake at Graham Hill Bend. The more powerful Peugeot gets back ahead. The BMW continues. They're now in the 52s, 52.771. Well, they're not going to bring Kevin Clark in, are they, while he's lapping this quickly? He's lapping a full second quicker than everyone else. Well, more so now with that 52.7. He's 1.5 seconds quicker than everybody else out there. Thompsons have come in, and so has Anton Spires. The Clio lead battlers are in together. There is Aaron Thompson, Dad Steve ready to take over. Anton Spires is going to hand over to Darren Gerhardt. There's the O'Brien Cherrington Clio in. With the Clios coming in, Andy Tucker for Team Brit is now up into 4th place. And is Kevin Clark slowing there? He braked very early for Paddock Bend. Has that BMW got a problem? He's slowing down. Oh my goodness. The leader's in trouble. Oh, what a shame. After Kevin Clark had dominated to such an extent, the BMW has broken down on him. He needs to pull it off the track there. He's stopped dead on the run into Druids. That's a hazardous place to come to a stop. The BMW, it just suddenly slowed coming into Paddock Bend. Oh, what a disappointment for Woodrow Motorsports. Kevin Clark was destroying his opposition there. He was lapping well over a second quicker than everyone else. So that's going to give the lead to Terry Stevens in the Peugeot. Now, Kevin Clark's got going again. There's the BMW. He's coming in. Now, Kevin Clark coming in. We'll try and find out what the problem was there. Did it just need a reset or something? Can happen, an electrical gremlin just needing a Control-Alt-Delete on the number 10 BMW. Will we see Simon Baker go back out in this car, or is it game over? Jasvir Sapra's brought the number 40 BMW in as well to hand over to Brian Branson. The Woodrow Motorsport crew are not there. They weren't expecting him in. Here they come. What's the problem, Kevin? The number 67 Renault Clio, and somebody off that, Steve Rothery. Another of the front runners. Now it looks like his left rear tyre is off the rim there. So has he had some contact, I wonder? I saw somebody else running wide just before we went to the Peugeot there. Yeah, it's the Team Brit, number 71. That's got a problem as well. Has there been contact between those two? Number 71 driven by Bobby Trundley. I thought I saw another car. There's another car going wide there, the Alfa Romeo. There must be fluid down at Graham Hill Bend because they're all sliding wide there. Steve Rothery is pulling off into the paddock. Looks like damage to the left rear of his car. The Team Brits BMW is coming in. Has that lost a wheel? Yes, it has. Oh, look at the state of that. Meantime, number 10 is going back out. So they may have cured whatever the problem is. Simon Baker now on board. It's all happening here in this Goodyear Britcar Endurance Championship Trophy category race. There's Richard Higgins, the County Classics Porsche. Now here comes Simon Baker. We'll see if the number 10 BMW is okay. We'll see where it slots back in, because everybody's cycling through their pit stops at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see who is where. Well, BMW back up to speed, just ahead of Charlotte Birch in her Ginetta. That's had some damage. You can see a bit of gaffer tape on the left front there. And the safety car is coming out. Safety car coming out just as Ryan Firth comes into the pits. So everybody who hasn't stopped yet is surely now going to come in. Now, who hasn't stopped? Van Nederveen hasn't stopped, and James Black hasn't stopped. In fact, they're the only two that haven't made their pit stops yet. There's the safety car. It picks up the number 14 of Terry Stevens, but I think the leader is Axel Van Nederveen. No, he's now come in, and Black has come in as well. They've dove straight in there. There is the number 71 BMW. Look at the state of that. The whole right front corner virtually is gone. That's the car of Bobby Trundley and Luke Pound. Cars in the pit lane. There's Axel van Nederveen's Ginetta, which was leading. There's the reason for the safety car. There is the wheel from Bobby Trundley's BMW. So debris the reason for the safety car. It's a loose wheel. That belongs to car 71. So Axel van Nederveen, your leader. Leaving the stop late has proven the right decision. Andy Mollison second in the Clio. James Black in third. Terry Stevens fourth. But the car to watch when we get going again, a little further back in the order in this one, there is Mark Lee. He's fifth in the Ginetta. Now this is his opportunity to continue his catch-up. He was in last place after a couple of laps after a spin. Could he finally get his first win in that number 74, the SVG Motorsport Ginetta? Okay, we can now hand down to the pits. We're going to hand down to Team Brit and find out what's happened there, talking to you.
In the pit lane with Bobby Trundley of Team Brit. The car behind you, what happened?
What happened was I was letting, I had a couple of faster cars go by, a Golf and a Peugeot TCR car, and I let the Golf by. The Peugeot thought it was a smart idea to try get by me and try and overtake the Golf down Grey Mill Bend, clobbered, and yeah.
So if we can just take a look at the car as well. I mean, I want to ask a stupid question, but that's your day over.
The car's
isn't it?
done for the day, yeah, unfortunately. It is what it is. The car was strong this weekend. We don't have the straight line speeds, but we were hoping for Brands to be our strongest track for this car. You know, I'm mainly in the Aston, but it was an honour to be part with Luke. Luke did a fantastic first stint, made up 9 places, but I feel bad, but it's racing, but yeah, not happy.
Yeah, so we waited for you to calm down a little bit. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
A pretty disappointing afternoon, but thanks for speaking to us.
Yeah, thank you very
Cheers,
much,
Bobby.
guys. Cheers.
Good to hear from Bobby Trundley, a karting ace, now moving up into cars with Team Brit. Sadly, his day is done. Collision with Steve Rothery's Peugeot, and they're both out of the race. I think we're going to go back to green this time through. Yes, the green flag is out. Safety car is in pit lane, and we're racing once again with just over 10 minutes of the race to go. Everybody has made their pit stops. And away goes the Ginetta, away goes the Clio, and here comes Terry Stevens. And off goes Alistair Lindsay, wallop straight in on the inside. I think he's gone into the barrier. 34 Alistair Lindsay's Seat Leon goes off on the run-up Halewood Rise there. I think he's gone into the tyre wall on the inside. Unfortunately, that could breed another safety car. They say safety cars breed safety cars. We saw Alistair go sliding off there. Axel van Nederveen going clear in the Ginetta. He's already well ahead. Look at the lead he's pulled out here over Andy Mollison. That Ginetta is checked out at the front of the field. It's coming up on Terry Stevens. Mark Lee, the transport company boss, at the wheel of the SVG Motorsports Ginetta. Has a look on the inside, coming through Clark Curve. He's going to attack Terry Stevens on the run down towards Paddock Bend. Goes to the outside here. Terry Stevens in the Peugeot holds the inside. Ginetta's got the power advantage coming out of Paddock Bend. He's going to go second on the outside. He's done it. Now, what's the gap to Axel van Nederveen? Cleared off at the restarts. The gap was just over 5.5 seconds. So the car to watch here is the number 74 of Mark Lee. Can he catch the similar Ginetta out in front? Just waiting for the slightest mistake from van Nederveen, and Steve Cook trying to get out of the way there. Mark Lee is going to try and pounce at Clearways. The leader momentarily held up by Steve Cook's Honda, which now gets out of the way. Here they come towards Clark Curve. Mark Lee trying to get into the slipstream of the similar Ginetta ahead of him. Over the line they go. 40 laps completed of the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. 0.4 of a second in it between the two Ginettas. Terry Stevens in third. Terry Stevens is still in third place, quite a long way back. Mark Lee, though, is pushing on. He's just done the quickest lap of the race, 52.086. Here comes Mark Lee. He knows there's only a couple of laps to go. He's unleashing his finishing kick here. Van Nederveen to the inside of the 47 Ginetta. And Mark Lee could be caught out by back markers here. 47 driven by Stuart Gibbons. As Lee gets through, Charlotte Birch is between, so the Ginettas everywhere at Graham Hill Bend. Look at this. Ginettas of all different kinds and sizes. Mark Lee has been delayed slightly there. He's going to have to really push. They're coming round to start the last lap of this Goodyear Britcar Endurance Championship Trophy category race 1. As those back markers just decided it, Mark Lee was up with Axel van Nederveen. He couldn't get through. There were 2 other cars there at Druids. I don't think he's going to do it now, Mark Lee. He seems fated not to win a race this year. If it hadn't been for that spin, he might now be out in front. Down to paddock. Mark Lee is really keeping up the chase here. Yeah, his last lap, he lost a couple of seconds there. 1.6 seconds now the lead margin. I think Van Nederveen has done enough. Out of Druids. 2 Ginettas well clear by about 8 seconds of their opposition. A great drive by Axel van Nederveen, the Dutchman in the Datum Motorsports Ginetta. Mark Lee tried his hardest, but he's going to be frustrated again. Here they come around Clearways. Taking advantage of problems for Woodrow Motorsport. It's going to be Datum Motorsport's 3rd win of the season. Here comes Axel van Nederveen. There is the checkered flag. Van Nederveen wins Britcar Trophy race number 1. Mark Lee comes over in 2nd and gets the fastest lap of the race. We can confirm the provisional result then of our first Britcar race of the day. Van Nederveen, I believe, driving solo today, taking the win by 2.25 seconds ahead of Mark Lee in a Ginetta 1-2. Terry Stevens in the Peugeot, a fine 3rd, ahead of Jasvir Sapra and Brian Bransom, snatching 4th right at the death from Richard Higgins. He wins Class 2. Baker and Clark, who led the first half of it but suffered a gremlin, finish in 6th position. Andy Mollison's Clio 7th. James Black wins the Clio category in 8th, just ahead of the Thompson father and son pair. Anthony Hutchins rounds up the top 10 in his Porsche. Peter Spano and Andy Bentley drop back at the start in the wet but come through to finish 11th, ahead of the Team Brit BMW of Tucker and Graham. Class 3 won by McMahon and Plant in the Alfa Giulietta, ahead of Wheatley and Chandler in the Volkswagen Golf, and the O'Brien Cherrington Clio rounds out the top 15. Behind them, Anton Spires and Darren Gerhardt's in their Clio. Arthur McMahon got a stop-go penalty, I presume, for a short pit stop. He finishes 17th ahead of the Golf of Rob Taylor. Charlotte Birch 19th ahead of the Gibbons and Vin Allmeyer Ginetta, and the Griffiths and Vin Allmeyer Ginetta. Jamie Vin Allmeyer doubling up today. The Cook family's Honda was next, then James Chase in his Mazda MX-5. After that, I think we lost the Kuma and Simmons Honda Civic. They had problems further back. Frost and Kara, of course, were late starters with the problems with their BMW, and we lost Alistair Lindsay, Steve Rothery, Luke Pound and Bobby Trundley. The McGregor Tomlinson Mazda RX-8 and the Colburn Davies Clio were all casualties in that one, unfortunately. I think we can hand down into Parc Ferme and talk to our winning driver with Ewan Dunlop.
We're in Parc Ferme with Axel van Nederveen, qualified 3rd but a winner in class number 1. Talk us through your race. You look absolutely knackered.
Yes, it was knackered. It was basically, the wet was awful in the rear wheel drives. It's basically nearly always stepping out at the back. You could see all the front wheel car drivers just drove past. But thank God once it got dry, and then I think we were lucky in terms of the timing of the pit stop as well.
Yeah.
So we then sort of made it to the finish. It was hard because I thought Mark wasn't sure whether he was one lap behind, or right behind me. So then I had to push again, try to make sure he'd stayed behind me. So,
now, literally just before the start of the race, showers opened. Any decision making to be made, or you just got to go with what you've got?
Unfortunately, you have to go with what you got. And we had testing on Friday was just as awful. I think every session that we came out, the rain started. So we had, in that sense, practice as to how not to get off, let's put it that way, but certainly not a way to go fast.
And as the closing stages, Mark here to his left was right behind you, held him off though, looking to do the same in race number 2 later on today.
I hope so. It's going to be fun. That's very good for sure.
Go and have a rest, have a drink. You've earned it. Congratulations.
Right, thanks.
Okay, cars coming up to the grid then for our next race, which is the Junior Saloon Car Championship. It's a record-breaking race for them. 28 cars on the grid. Their biggest ever entry in the history of this series. Identical Citroën Saxo VTRs, 1600cc engines, drivers aged 14 to 17. And on the grid, the top 15 covered by less than a second. This is going to be awesome. Pole position, 54, Harvey Caton, alongside the championship leader, number 55, Charlie Hand. Second row, number 600, Ruben Hage, starts alongside 80 of Aaron Walker. Row 3, 754, Alfie Jeekins, winner of the last round at Knockhill in Scotland, starts alongside 260 of James Wallace. Row 4, 322, Jamie Petters, 42 of Will Redford. On row 5, Ashley Gregory, she got her first win at Knockhill in the 22 car, starts alongside Oliver Cotton. Row 6, Matthew Cripps, familiar name, we saw his dad in the previous race, starts alongside Tommy Gillam, son of Tony Gillam, the boss of Team Hard. Row 7, Jack Meakin alongside Scott Sumpton. The 8th row, Louis Hansel and Harvey Dent. On the 9th row, Harry Hickton, son of David, the long-time saloon car racer. Reese Blakely completes the 9th row. The scholarship winner for 2021 is on row 10. That's Chloe Grant from Scotland. She starts alongside Ollie Handley. The 11th row, Jacob Heap and Adam Harding. Then Arwen Graham starts alongside CJ Morgan. The penultimate row, Travis Chapman and Ben Carter. Adam Parker and Jack Ruddle round out the 28 car field. Cars on their green flag lap. This race is 15 minutes plus 1 lap. Alfie Jeekins, row 3 of the grid, looking for his second win of the season, starts alongside the 260 of James Wallace in the black and yellow car, the graduate of the short ovals. Jamie Petters on row 4 in the blue and Dayglow machine alongside the 42 of Will Redford. Revs beginning to rise then from these 1600cc engines, and off we go for 15 minutes plus 1 lap. Side by side between the two front row men as the young guns go for it into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. One car hasn't got away at the back. It does so now. Somebody stalling on the grid there, but we're all away. And they charge their way through Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. The 42 of Will Redford running a bit wide onto the curb there. It's Harvey Caton just with the lead ahead of Charlie Hand. Ruben Hage in third place. Side by side for fourth position. They start to sort themselves out. Alfie Jeekins getting up onto the curb there, trying to get past Aaron Walker in the number 80. He goes through into fourth place. Number 98 behind that's Oliver Cottam as Jamie Petters puts a wheel onto the grass there. His brother Dan racing at Mallory Park today in the pickup truck racing championship. Somebody slowing in the pack there. Was that a car with some damage I saw? I'm not sure, as Harvey Caton gets sideways on the run into clearways. Could lose his lead here to Charlie Hand. Yes, Charlie Hand up there on the inside. Ruben Hage tucked in on the inside line as well. They'll be absolutely together over the timing line. Harvey Caton just with his lead. Ruben Hage tucked in on the inside in third place. It's Charlie Hand is going to get through on the inside. Yes, he's got the lead. Hage trying to follow him as they go up towards Druids. And it's Charlie Hand, the championship leader, who takes up the lead, looking for win number 6 of the season. Ruben Hage through into second place. He sits fourth in the points at the moment behind Alfie Jeekins. Harvey Caton, second in the championship, goes down to third. They may be as young as 14, these drivers are. There's the car we saw that had got some damage. Who's that? It's Arwen Graham, number 23, the young Scottish girl. She's out of the race. One of a few ladies in this championship. The leading lady, Ashley Gregory, took a win at Knockhill. There she is, the blue and pink car, in about 6th or 7th place. Charlie Hand on the brakes there, takes it nicely through clearways. Starting to break away just a little now. Best lap of 1 minute, .24 so far. Ruben Hage on the inside. Caton on the outside. Almost side by side across the line. Harvey Caton trying to go round the outside. We have a safety car. Safety car is coming out and Harvey Caton backs off. Abandons that overtake there, I assume, because of Arwen Graham's stranded car. Yes, there on the Cooper Straight you can see damage to the front end. Didn't see what caused that, but Arwen out of the race. And the safety car is out. Staying firmly together. It's the safety car coming in this time. They're picking up their pace. Yes, safety car is coming in. We're going to go back to green flag racing this time. We didn't see the yellow lights go out on top of it, but we're back to racing. Charlie Hand gets a great restart down towards the first corner. Pulls away from Ruben Hage in second place. They can't overtake until the timing line, of course. Aaron Walker attacking there on the inside. Up the inside of Oliver Cottam into Paddock. Goes through up into fourth place. Now, can he hold it on the run up to Druids? Cottam fights back on the inside. Side by side with Ruben Hage on the outside for Surtees, but on the inside going into clearways. Charlie Hand still leads. Caton up the inside. He goes through up into second place. Good switch back there by Harvey Caton. and he's into second. Down Cooper Straight they come, 6 minutes plus a lap to go, and running wide there, Aaron Walker onto the grass. Now, is that just a mistake there, or has he got a problem? He's pulling off. Aaron Walker in trouble. That's a shame. He's running well in 4th place, battling with Oliver Cottam. So Cottam now 4th. Whole phalanx of cars for 4th. Oliver Cottam, Ashley Gregory, Will Redford. Then Petters, Cripps, Jeekins, James Wallace is in that battle as well. And he's got ahead of Tommy Gillam as round the outside comes Caton again. This time he might have a run into Graham Hill-Benyea. He's got the line away there. Hand tries to squeeze him. He's got the inside here, Harvey Caton, for Graham Hill-Bend. He's going through. Great move by Harvey Caton. Now, can he keep it ahead down the Cooper Straight? Hand's going to have the inside for Surtees Bend. They're absolutely side by side. Terrific scrap between these three. And Charlie Hand's going to retake the lead. Harvey Caton couldn't quite get the complete overlap there out of Graham Hill-Bend, and Charlie Hand retakes the lead. Now Ruben Hage is going to try and get a piece of this as well. Caton goes a bit wide, trying to get up alongside through clear ways towards Clark Curve. There's definitely a bit of rain in the air here at Brands Hatch. We've got 90 seconds plus a lap to go, and Caton's trying to out-drag Hand here into Paddock Bend around the outside. Can he get him on the brakes? I don't think so. I think Hand will have the inside, and Ruben Hayes trying to force his way out the inside as well. They're almost on top of each other, these three now. Side by side on the run up to Druids. This could be good. Hayes is going to go to the inside. They can't go 3 wide into Druids. Surely something's got to give here. That something was nearly Harvey Caton. Hand's caught in the middle, and Ruben Hayes has taken the lead. Oh, brilliant. I thought surely there was going to be contact there. They've somehow survived that, and Charlie Hand's down to 3rd because Harvey Caton's come through as well. This is brilliant stuff. Ruben Hage into the lead with less than a minute left on the clock. There'll be a couple more laps to go in this one, I think. Ruben Hage, car number 600, looking for his first win of the season. Harvey Caton wants his 2nd win of the season, and Charlie Hand, the championship leader, down to 3rd. 3 wide into Druids. I thought it was all going to end in tears. They made it work, and Ruben Hage lucks in to take the lead. Now, here comes Harvey Caton. Well, if I can get past Charlie Hand, I can get past Ruben Hage as well, he says. Going for the outside on a slightly slickening track. Fight is on for 4th as well, but it's all about the leaders at the moment. Up to 4th now is Ashley Gregory. She's got ahead of Oliver Cottam. I don't think they'll catch these three. They're about 4 seconds down. There they are in the background as Ruben Hage continues to lead. The clock about to go down to 0, so the last lap board will be out this time around at the start-finish line. Can Ruben Hage hang on? The wipers going on the 600 car. He's got to be careful here because the track's starting to get slippery. Harvey Caton in the Maximum Motorsport car. He's not finished yet. It's going to take maximum effort here for him to overhaul our leader. And one false move and Charlie Hand will be through like a shot as well. Caton goes to the outside as they come into clearways. Ruben Hage continues to hold the lead. Ashley Gregory still 4th now. Here comes Caton. Can he get a run down the outside here? I think he might get the overlap on the brakes. He's not going to wait until Paddock Bend. He's gone round the outside into the lead as they start the final lap. Harvey Caton takes the lead. He leads at the line. Ruben Hage trying to fight back. Charlie Hand has dropped back just a little by about 0.3 of a second. That time through, we're on the last lap now of this magnificent race for the junior saloon cars. Almost a repeat of the pre-83 touring car race in terms of a 3-way battle at the front. Can Harvey Caton hang on? What can Ruben Hage do? Is he going to slipstream him on the final straight? Harvey Caton's going to have to be careful here. The track is slippery. We can see rain coming down. Oh, Hage has gone a bit wide onto the grass there. That could have lost him his chance. The rain coming down more heavily now as we come to the conclusion of this race. Here they come into clearways for the final. Oh, they both go over the grass. They've hit the rain, and they're going to save it here. Caton sideways, rallycross style. He could lose the lead here. Hage up the inside. They're going to finish side by side. Hage goes into the lead. Oh, my goodness, what a finish. Harvey Caton, can he get it back again? Can he slipstream in before the line? I don't think he's going to. He's up alongside. It's going to be a photo finish, I think. Ruben Hage is just going to hang on for his first win of the season. My goodness gracious me. Caton 2nd, Ham 3rd. What an incredible finish. Well, they hit the rain coming into clearways. They both went over the grass. I thought they were going to go straight on into the gravel. How Harvey Caton in particular saved that, I do not know. He should get a career in rallycross started. But it's Ruben Hage, a first win of the season. Absolutely brilliant. Look at the rain coming down now. That was incredible. We'll give you the full results as soon as we can. Ruben Hayes, the winner by 0.176 of a second. Well done, Ruben. He is absolutely elated. Charlie Hand takes third, then Ashley Gregory in fourth place. Oliver Cotton fifth, ahead of Will Redford. And it was Jamie Petters seventh, ahead of Alfie Jeekins. Number 40 of Matthew Cripps dropping to ninth. James Wallace rounding out the top 10. There was a great fight further back. We just couldn't look away from the leaders there. Louis Hansel in 11th place, ahead of Jack Meakin. 13th for Harry Hickton, ahead of Tommy Gillam, who dropped back a bit in the closing stages. And Rhys Blakely completing the top 15. Beyond that, it was 16th place for the number 333, which is Adam Harding. 17th place went to number 77, which is Travis Chapman. Chloe Grants, the scholarship winner, was 18th. 19th place going to the number 58 of Harvey Dent. Rounding out the top 20, number 66, Ollie Handley. Jacob Heap, number 16, was 21st. Then CJ Morgan, Ben Carter, Ashley Parker, Adam Parker, number 92. And newcomer number 9, Jack Ruddle, the final finisher. We lost Scott Sumpton at the end of that one, and of course retirements for Aaron Walker and Arwen Graham. Well, let's head down to hear from race winner Ruben Hayes in Parc Fermé while I get my breath back.
We are in Parc Fermé with Ruben Haig. Well done. What a sensational race.
Oh no, it's brilliant. I mean, got a good start off the line, managed to get up to second pretty early on. Dropped back to third for most of the race, just trying to hang on to the back of him. The two started battling in front. Managed to get into the lead, dropped to second. This range started coming down the last lap and managed to utilise it.
Well, you spent a bit of time on the grass on the last lap as well.
Yeah, just went from all to nothing. So this came just at the right time.
And the penultimate lap, Caton, he took over you on the start-finish line, so you needed something to happen and it did.
Yeah, definitely. It's perfect time in that rain. Definitely wouldn't have got him if not. Brilliant first race. Just like to thank the sponsors, Gardex, Asta and Handler for making this possible.
And so it was the big hand clap you gave to at the end of the race as well, saw you over the barrier here.
Yeah, that was just all the marshals, after what happened yesterday. It's really good of them to come back out and put on a show.
Absolutely brilliant. Congratulations, well done. Again, 2 races that are absolutely thrilling, really appreciate it. Great effort.
Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.
See you.
Well, welcome back to Full Throttle here at the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit. More great motorsports coming up. Next up on track here today, we have the second race of the day for the Kumho Tyres BMW Championship. That's followed by our second race of the day for the Goodyear Britcar Endurance Championship Trophy category. Another 50-minute race with mandatory pit stops coming up for them. But now we go BMW racing. 20 minutes for their second race of the day. Niall Bradley going for his double. Let's have a look at the grid then for our Kumho Tyres BMW Championship based on the results of race 1. So it's Niall Bradley in pole position in car number 47. Alongside him, Michael Vitulli, the winner of Class A in race 1, number 89. Second row 32, James Card, number 76, Jason West. Row 3, 48, Darren Morgan-Owen, and 66, Paul Wood. Fourth row, Brian Branson, 26 and 78 of Ronan Bradley. On the fifth row, Kevin Denwood, number 7, and Trevor Ford, number 25. The sixth row, 37 of Cavan Granger and 74 Max Walton. Row 7, 190 Alan Lee in the BMW Mini. Brad Sheehan failed to finish race 1. We'll see him coming through from 14th. And Pete Miller, we'll have to wait to see if he's out there. I think his engine let go in the first race, so I don't think he'll be on the grid. So we get ready to get underway then. Lights out and down to the first corner. A great start by Niall Bradley. Takes the lead from pole position. Decent getaway by Ronan Bradley further back as well. See if the family can both get on the podium here. One car coming out of the pit lane there. Didn't quite see who that was. We'll pick up on that in a moment. Somebody starting from the pit lane, but it's Niall Bradley who leads from Michael Vitulli. Around the first lap then, James Card holding off Jason West, our earlier Classic Thunder winner, in fourth position. Then we've got Darren Morgan-Owen, Paul Wood and the 78s of Ronan Bradley. I think it might be Max Walton who has started from the pits, number 74. We saw him go off in the first race. Yes, he's not in that group. We'll see if he's further back behind the other runners. Yes, it is Max Walton. He started from pit lane. So they're underway then. Darren Morgan-Owen under fire from Paul Wood. That's for 5th position. That's the more powerful BMW M3 E46s who have already pulled away at the front. Ronan Bradley battling with Brian Branson. Look at Branson twitching about there. That shows you how slippery it is. He's trying to put the power down on the straight, and he's all over the place, the orange car. Chased by Bradley Sheehan. Now he's already made up a couple of places, up to 9th from the back of the grid. Niall Bradley leads. His lead was 2.3 seconds last time through. Coming through this time to complete lap number 5. Over the line, it's down to 1.9 seconds because they're starting to deal with back markers already. Cavan Granger, Trevor Ford and Kevin Denwood, the Class B leader, being lapped. Trevor Ford moves aside, lets them through. His son James has raced with him for a few years now. Michael Vitulli a bit wide there, running the nose wide into Druids. There's Kevin Denwood, the blue and orange car, leading Class B and the overall championship. Jason West around the outside, but as soon as you go off that dry line, you see him get sideways there. That's allowed car number 32, Class A runner James Card, to escape into 3rd slightly. Morgan-Owen's gone quicker again, 53.461. He's by far the quickest car on the track at the moment. Darren Morgan-Owen in 5th, as Michael Vitulli makes a bit of a mistake there, slides wide. Holds his class lead though. James Card moving up to attack as a result of that loss of momentum. Here he comes, James Card having a look. Fight for second comes over the line. There's a couple of car lengths in it then as the Silver Machine attacks. Vitulli still second, 4th is Jason West. There's Darren Morgan-Owen. Look at the way he's closing the gap down to Jason West. There is the 48. Now Darren Morgan-Owen, quickest car on track at the moment. His last lap was nearly 3 seconds quicker than that of Jason West. He's caught them, look, he's caught this fight for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. This is great stuff from Darren Morgan-Owen, the man who's 2nd in the points in Class A, but it's been more by consistency than out-and-out speed so far this year. But suddenly he has found some speed. There's still just over 5 minutes to go, and he's going for Jason West here for 4th place. Seems to be coping with the conditions much better than those ahead of him. James Card runs a bit wide there at Clearways. Now there's 4 of them line astern. Can Darren Morgan-Owen pick this lot off and get into the top 3 maybe? West to the inside, Morgan-Owen to the outside. He's going to drive straight round the outside of him, surely. Unless West's late on the brakes. No, Morgan-Owen's got him. He's now going for James Card. Darren Morgan-Owen is absolutely flying. He must have got the setup right for these changing conditions. Did he start on slicks, I wonder? Here he comes, and here comes, look behind them, Brian Branson and Brad Sheehan as well. It's going to be 6 of them for 2nd place very shortly. Bradley's out in front. He's pulled away as a result of all this battling. He's over 6.5 seconds up the road though, so Niall Bradley is going to head for victory once again, but it's 6 cars battling for 2nd. Suddenly in its closing stages, this race coming alive. Card has a look at the back of Vitulli. Here comes Darren Morgan-Owen. I can only think that he's started on different tyres to the others, because he's suddenly coming on strong. Here he comes, round the outside, 3 wide behind them. Jason West drops behind Brian Branson. Jason West's on rain tyres, and they're starting to go off now as the track dries. Here comes Brad Sheehan as well. Darren Morgan-Owen's got through into 3rd place. He's going for 2nd. Michael Vitulli is surely going to be powerless to stop him. Into Druids, they're side by side, a little bit of a rub there, and Morgan-Owen is through. Up into 2nd place. Now surely he can't catch Niall Bradley out in the lead. 8.8 seconds in it. Let's look at their lap times. Yeah, Morgan-Owen, his quickest lap, over a second quicker than the fastest achieved by Bradley. Now Michael Vitulli's tyres are starting to go off because James Card has gone through into 3rd place. Brian Bransom's in there as well. They must all be on different tyres, because now Sheehan's got past Jason West. Jason West's on rain tyres. You can see the different wheels, the silver wheels on his car gives it away. I think Michael Vitulli must be on rain tyres as well, and his tyres now going off as the track dries, because everybody's streaming past him. Yeah, Sheehan's got through as well now. Bransom's already gone through. It's all change for second place in the order. Brian Bransom's going to have a go at James Card now. Niall Bradley leads, but Darren Morgan-Owen is going to try and close on him. I don't think he'll catch him with only 2.5 minutes of the race to go. Bradley leading by nearly 9 seconds. Brad Sheehan is catching Brian Bransom, though. Michael Vitulli has now dropped to the back of that group. It's Card from Bransom. This is the fight for third place now. And look at Brad Sheehan going round the outside of Bransom. They've come through the field together. Looks like there's a bit of damage on the front of the pink machine there as he goes to the outside. James Card moves to defend. Over the line, round the outside goes Brad Sheehan. Can he make it stick ahead of James Card? Yes, he's got him up into third place. New fastest lap of the race for Darren Morgan-Owen, 53.422. Now, what was the last lap for Bradley? He's done a 53.763. Still 8.5 seconds clear. So Niall Bradley's heading for victory. There's Darren Morgan-Owen. Look how clear he's got there. They're going past a back marker, Cavan Granger. It's Sheehan third. Side by side, both Brian Bransom's going past James Card. Has James Card started on wets as well, I wonder? Because Brian Bransom certainly hasn't. He's on slicks. He must be. So Class A is now led by Darren Morgan-Owen. This is going to help his championship cause. Unless he's going to be caught by Brad Sheehan. Sheehan does the fastest lap, 53.277. There'll be one more lap to go after this one, I think, because there was a minute left on the clock as the leaders came through. There's your... No, that's not the leader, that's Ronan Bradley, sorry, number 78. He's running down in 9th place. It's Niall Bradley who's leading. Where's James Card? He's under fire from Jason West now. They are floundering on rain tyres, I think. Sheehan's done a 53.277. Here comes our leader. Into his final lap he goes. It's going to be a double for Niall Bradley. But second place, and more importantly, the leading points in Class A are going to go to Darren Morgan-Owen. He's just done 53.200. Bransom does a 53.125. The lap times are tumbling as the track dries out. It's all about a gamble on tyres for everybody, and for some it's paying off. Ronan Bradley slides out of the way to let Niall through. The battle's still on in Class B as well. Looks like it's going to be Trevor Ford in Class B. They'll have one more lap to run. Oh, and it's definitely going to be Trevor Ford now. Kevin Denwood's gone off. Off he goes over the grass. His tyres might have gone off as well, but this man certainly haven't. It's going to be a double victory for number 47. Here he comes, Niall Bradley. Comes in to take the win. Now, who's going to be second? It's going to be Darren Morgan-Owen. 5.8 seconds he got the gap down to at the line. Brad Sheehan is going to take third place from the back. Fourth is Brian Bransom. They got the tyre choice right. The next few didn't. Let's have a look at the result then. Niall Bradley the winner by nearly 6 seconds over Darren Morgan-Owen. He wins Class A with a great drive through the field. Brad Sheehan and Brian Bransom getting the tyre choice right to finish third and fourth. James Card dropping back to fifth, then Jason West in sixth, and Michael Vitulli, the long-time leader in Class A, finishes seventh. Max Walton eighth ahead of Ronan Bradley. Trevor Ford wins Class B in 10th place after a late off for Kevin Denwood. And Cavan Granger, the final finisher. Paul Wood was a retirement. Okay, we can now head down to Parc Fermé and hear from our Kumho BMW runners.
Darren, can we grab you for 2 secs? Can you get back out? Yeah. Can you squeeze back out for us? I know you're keen to get off, end of the day and all. First in Class A.
Yeah, absolutely. What a result. Took a bit of a gamble at the beginning. We all sat around in the pit saying, what's it going to be, wet, dry? A couple of the guys in the team a couple of guys in the teams went for the wet tyres, and I thought, well, I've not had a great result this weekend with qualifying in the first race, so I thought, got nothing to lose really. Stick the slicks on and see what happens. Very slippery out there to start with, but after a few laps it started to come in, so starting to catch the guys, and I could see them as I was coming down this good straight here. going around clearways, and I'm thinking they're getting closer. I can't see them this time, and just went for it really.
Because Brad said he was on slicks as well, so it was a really tight, close race.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Brad might have come up behind me and caught me. He was starting from a bit further back on the grid, but yeah, it's a great race. We enjoyed it.
Niall over there on the invitation. Can't catch him, can we?
No, not this time. Next time.
They might not invite him back.
Well, you know, it's always good to have a good driver out there, and he is a great driver. So, you know, hats off to him.
Well, look, rain stops, sun is out. It's glorious. Congratulations, a great weekend.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Cheers. See ya.
Okay, we move on to our next race then, the final race of the weekend, race 2 for the Goodyear Britcar Endurance Championship, the trophy category. Cars are heading out to the grid, so we'll bring you the grid very shortly. We'll bring you the starting drivers and also the details of pit stop penalties for the top 3 in each class in race 1. This grid is based on the second fastest time for each car in the qualifying session that we had this morning. Okay, I'll have a look at the grid then. And in pole position it is the number 10 BMW of Woodrow Motorsport. It'll be Simon Baker taking the first stint this time. Kevin Clark will take over. Alongside him, number 74 Mark Lee in the SVG Ginetta. Second row, Axel van der Veen driving solo in the Data Motorsport car. The 2 Ginettas have pit stop penalties for their top 3 in race 1. 74 will serve an extra 10 seconds. 111 an extra 15 seconds as the race winner. No pit stop penalty for the BMW. They will start as favourites as long as they run problem free. Alongside them on the second row should have been the 98 car of Lee Frost and Lucky Kera. I don't think that car's taking the start after the problems they had earlier on, unfortunately. Row 3, number 2, which is the Ginetta of Peter Spano and Andy Bentley. Andy Bentley will take the start this time. Alongside number 15, Richard Higgins in his Porsche. He will have a 15-second pit stop penalty, won Class 2 in race 1. The fourth row, number 14, Terry Stevens, he'll have a 5-second pit stop penalty in the Peugeot. And the Team Brits, number 70 BMW, Andrew Tucker starts, will hand over to Charles Graham. No penalty for that car. On the fifth row, the Mac G Racing Mazda RX-8. I'm not sure if that car's coming out for this one. We don't, as yet, know the starting driver. I'll double-check that one in a moment. Alongside them, number 40, from Simon Green Motorsport, is Jasvir Sapra and Brian Branson. Jasvir Sapra is going first. On the 6th row of the grid, 308 Steve Rothery. He got a grid penalty according to the grid sheet I've got, so we'll double check the reason when I can. Alongside them, 177, the PrepTech Clio. It'll be Ryan Firth going first, sharing with Andy Mollison. They have a 10-second success penalty. Row 7, number 199, which is the RKC Honda Civic. Ricky Kuma, the car owner, going first, sharing with Mark Simmons. Alongside them, number 41, which is the first of the Clios, the Thompson family. Aaron Thompson will start, Steve will take over. They have a 10-second penalty for second in class in race 1. The 8th row, number 19, which is the Reflex Ginetta. Not the best of races for them in the first race, the Class 3 points leaders. Jamie Vinall-Meyer will start that car, Steve Griffiths will take over. Alongside them, the Anton Spires Clio. To be Anton driving second in this one. Darren Gerhardt is taking the start. Row 9, number 27, Charlotte Birch in her Ginetta. Starts alongside number 45, which is Arthur McMahon in his Honda Civic. He's got a 5-second success penalty. Row 10, number 67, with a 15 success penalty, James Black. He won the Clio class in race 1. Alongside number 35, the Chandler Motorsports VW Golf. Andy Wheatley taking the start. Stephen Chandler will take over. They have a 10-second penalty at their pit stop. Row 11 is number 11, which is the Motus One Clio. That's got a 5-second penalty. Steve O'Brien starts. Matt Cherrington takes over. Number 62 alongside them is another Westbourne Motorsport Clio. Started this time by James Colburn. That car went off in race 1. Tony Davies will take over. Row 12 is number 80, which is Anthony Hutchins in his Porsche Boxster. And number 46, Robert Taylor in his Golf. Row 13, number 34, which is Alistair Lindsay Seat. Hopefully he's been able to get that back out after going off in race 1. Number 71 won't be starting. That's Bobby Trundley and Luke Pound's BMW. Accident damage from race 1, putting them out. They won't be on the grid. Row 14 is the Class 3 winner from race 1, number 57. Barry McMahon takes the start this time. Paul Plant will take over. They have a 15-second penalty. 47 alongside them. Stuart Gibbons starts. Jamie Vinall-Meyer takes over the Ginetta. They will swap cars midway through. And the final row, number 83, which is the Cook family. Edward Cook going first. Steve taking over the Honda Civic. And completing the grid, number 119, James Chase in his Mazda MX-5. Pace car is in pit lane then. Here we go with race 2 for the Goodyear Britcar Endurance Championship Trophy category. 1 or 2 gaps on the grid. We are underway with Simon Baker in the BMW taking the lead down towards the first corner. Mark Lee into second place. Axel van Nederveen is third. And a good start by Andy Bentley in the Class 2 Ginetta up into fourth place. One car that was missing was the Lee Frost and Lucky Carer BMW. That's not there. Not sure if Steve Rothery's Peugeot is there as well, as the Simon Baker BMW leads them round the first lap then, but a long way to go yet. Second place is Mark Lee. That's 2 more Ginettas behind them. Great to see Andy Bentley up there in the smaller Ginetta, the Class 2 machine, the G40. Steve Rothery is there. There's the Peugeot. Apologies there. Alistair Lindsay's got the Seat back out as well. He's repaired his bit of front-end damage. Hopefully a good, clean race this time. 20 minutes before the pit window opens. It's Simon Baker who leads for Woodrow Motorsport. Good start by Richard Higgins as well in the blue Porsche, up there in 5th position. 6th behind him is Terry Stevens. There go the leaders. It was 2.2 seconds. It's less than that now. Mark Lee's just on the fastest lap. No, Van Nederveen does the fastest lap. 52.272. Lee did a 52.281. Baker's last lap was a 52.9, so they're closing him down again. Fascinating battle. BMW versus Ginetta has become the theme of Britcar Trophy this year. Let's take a look at the class lead as well. Andy Bentley still leads Class 2 in his Ginetta ahead of Richard Higgins and Ryan Firth. Class 3, that's led by Steve Griffiths and Jamie Vinolmeyer. It's Jamie on board the number 19 car for the first stint. Andy Wheatley in his Golf in second, and Arthur McMahon's Honda Civic in third. The Clio's led by Aaron Thompson. It's James Colburn second, and Darren Gerhardt's is third in the Clio division. And of course, one invitation class runner, James Chase, at the tail of the field, the newcomer in his Mazda MX-5. Just going a lap down there to Simon Baker, and Mark Lee closing up. He's getting closer and closer now as they come up on Andy Wheatley, newest co-driver for Stephen Chandler in the Golf. Oh, and Axel van Nederveen spun coming through Graham Hill Bend. He's on the grass. That's the third place man gone. So Jasvir Sapra goes through into third. Can Van Nederveen rejoin from there? He's on wet grass, so he's going to struggle, trying not to bog it down. His wheels spinning there. Andy Bentley goes through to fourth. It's Andy Tucker up to fifth in the Team Brit BMW. Terry Stevens sixth. Poor Axel Van Nederveen, the winner of race 1. Rejoins. He got it going. It's uphill there. You could see he was trying to spin the car around and struggling with wheel spin, but he's got it going again, but he's quite a way down the order. He'll have to try and score on pit stop strategy again now. And the Ginetta has pulled up. Axel Van Nederveen, has he had another spin? Or has he got a problem? He's getting going again. He may have spun again, I'm not sure. He's now a lap down on the leaders. This is a disaster for the race 1 winner. Is he heading for the pits? We'll wait and see. The pit window opens now. Pit window is open. Who's going to be the first to come in then? And another spin for the Ginetta. What has happened to Axel Van Nederveen? Has he damaged his tyres when he went off or something? Has he got no grip? Stuck there on the outside of Clearways. And I hope he can get going. Otherwise we will have the safety car that we inevitably seem to have every time the pit window opens in Britcar. Goes for the outside, and that's because the leader comes in. So the leader in at an early opportunity, Simon Baker, to hand over to Kevin Clark. Van Nederveen has made it to the pits as well, so no safety car needed. Okay, the leader is the first to stop effectively along with Van Nederveen. Darren Gerhardt's brought his Clio in as well to hand over to Anton Spires. They were running in the top 3 of the Clio class. So your leader is Mark Lee ahead of Jasvir Sapra by just under 5 seconds. There is Mark Lee. Can he finally take his first win here? He's got a success penalty. Remember, the BMW hasn't, because of those problems in race 1. Finished outside the top 3 in the class. Terry Stevens has brought his Peugeot into the pits as well. Have we had any other pit callers? Yes, Charlotte Birch has come in with the Ginetta. Mark Lee comes in as well. Gives up the race lead. Now, is Jasvir Sapra going to go on? Yes, Jasvir Sapra will take the lead on track in the BMW. There's your leader, Jasvir Sapra. He's nearly 20 seconds clear of Andy Bentley in the Class 2 Ginetta. We'll see where the other leading runners slot back in. Sapra continues to lead. The BMW goes back out as Axel van Nederveen goes out as well. Disastrous race for him, 3 spins. He's at least a lap behind our race leader, now piloted by Kevin Clark, and we saw what he can do in race 1. He was lapping, getting on towards 2 seconds quicker than everybody else in his stint in race 1 until the car developed a problem, and that car is the one to beat. Jasvir Sapra leads them. Mark Lee is in pit lane. There is the 74. Team ready to push him back out, SVG Motorsports. Waiting for the time to elapse. They have to stay stationary for 2 minutes, or 2 minutes 10 seconds in Mark Lee's case, with the extra success penalty for second in class in race 1. Now he goes back out. Where is he going to come out in relation to the BMW? The BMW, I tell you, is just coming out of Clark Curve now. Is Mark Lee going to stay ahead? I don't think he is. Comes out of pit lane. Where's the BMW? I think he's already gone through. Yes, the BMW is coming through towards Halewood. So Kevin Clark, there's the gap, has stayed ahead of Mark Lee. We can now head down to the pit lane, where our ace interviewer has got hold of Simon Baker.
So we're here in the pit lane with Simon Baker, currently leading the race before the pits. Not so good in race number 1. What happened?
No, I think literally we had a bit of a gremlin, so when Kevin was out, the car stopped, so it cost us a lot of time. But I was battling a few people, but we got stuck in a little bit of traffic, and obviously the safety car was way too long.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But your stint in race number 2 did pretty well.
Oh yeah, really enjoyable. Obviously I was concentrating on the start and didn't want anyone to get past me. I've done in the past, but obviously every race I'm learning, just more and more confidence.
But
in the car especially. So.
2 pole positions today, hoping to convert the second one into a win.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we need some more points now just to keep everything, looking good. So hopefully Kevin will bring it out. So.
Fingers crossed. Great work on station number 1. Dave, back to you.
Good to hear from Simon Baker. So it was an electrical gremlin that befell the car in race 1. A bit of a lock-up there from Kevin Clark. He's getting acclimatised to the car once again. That is your de facto race leader, the first of the cars that has stopped. The BMW has just come in of Andy Tucker from what was 3rd place and leading Class 1. So Clark will take over the Class 1 lead. I think the leader has now come in. Yes, Andy Bentley's in pit lane. We can see him there. Coming in to hand over to Peter Spano. 1 minute before the end of the pit window. Well, Clark is now back on top of the timing screen. Yeah, there's the Clio, number 41. Car number 2. Peter Spano leads Class 2 by 3.6 seconds. There's his nearest challenger, Richard Higgins in the Porsche. So we've got a battle on our hands in Class 2. Andy Mollison's 23 seconds down in 3rd place. Class 3 is being led by the Golf of Stephen Chandler and Andy Wheatley. What's their gap over Steve Griffiths' Ginetta? 4.8 seconds. That's the car leading the championship. Meantime, there's a challenge on for the lead of Class 2 into Paddock Hill Bend. Richard Higgins, he goes through. Now the leader, car number 10, the BMW, is coming up to lap Mark Lee now. There they are. He's already lapped Brian Bransom, the 3rd place man. There are the 2 BMWs. And it looks as though Woodrow Motorsports are going to win this race by a full lap. Arthur McMahon is lapped, and yeah, there's the 2nd place car about to go a lap down to runaway leader Kevin Clark. No pit penalty for the BMW, no electrical gremlins so far this time. There's still 5.5 minutes to go, so I won't say that too loudly. There could be a challenge for 2nd place here, because Brian Bransom is keeping Mark Lee in his sights here. They're on the same lap. The car in between them is lapping them, the race leader. So it's 2nd, 1st, 3rd, these 3 at the moment. Slightly unusual, I know. And in fact, the leader lets Brian Bransom through there. At least I think he's let him through. Don't tell me that BMW is in trouble again. Is he just easing back, taking it easy here, and letting Mark Lee and Brian Branson battle for second place. These two still racing on the limit though. Brian Branson trying to catch the 74 car for second. Now, will it be checkered flag this time? There's only 20 seconds left on the clock, so I think it might be. But of course, if Kevin Clark hasn't lapped these two, they're going to have to go round again. As Kevin Clark is going to win this, I think it's going to be checkered flag this time for the Woodrow Motorsports BMW. Started by Simon Baker. Kevin Clark is bringing it to victory. Is it going to be checkered flag this time as he comes along the Brabham Straight? Yes, the checkered flag goes out. Baker and Clark take win number 5 for Woodrow Motorsport this season. What about the race for second place though? Because it's still up for grabs between Lee and Branson. There they are now, they're free to race. They're coming out of Druids now, Mark Lee. Here they come down towards Graham Hill Bend. Can Brian Branson make a late move? Nearly everybody else has crossed the line. We'll pick up the rest of the classes in a moment. We've got a race to the line for second place. Through towards Clearways. I think Mark Lee has done enough in the Ginetta. Brian Branson will have one last effort down the straights. They're going to finish on the lead lap. There are going to be only 3 cars on the lead lap. Here they come. Mark Lee is going to hold on in the Ginetta for second place. Brian Branson brings home the car started by Jasvir Sapra for third. Simon Baker and Kevin Clark, the winners, completing 54 laps. Two other cars finishing on the lead lap. Mark Lee second again in the Ginetta, and Sapper and Branson's BMW third. Terry Stevens' Peugeot was fourth, and Richard Higgins, the Class 2 winner, taking fifth. Well done to Axel van Nederveen, recovering to take sixth overall. Seventh went to Spano and Bentley's Ginetta. Eighth went to Andy Mollison, sharing with Ryan Firth in the Clio. And Kuma and Simmons, despite a stop-go penalty, finished ninth. Rounding out the top 10, the Class 3 winner, Chandler and Wheatley in the Golf. And the Clio class winners were Colburn and Davies, finishing 11th overall. 12th, the Griffiths and Vinal Meyer in their Ginetta. That'll help their points lead in Class 3. Anton Spires and Darren Gerhardt in their Clio were next. 14th place for the new Mazda RX-8 of Johnny Mack and Josh Tomlinson. The Thompsons finishing 15th. Their race spoiled a bit by a stop-go penalty. 16th behind them went to Rob Taylor's Golf, then Charlotte Birch after a couple of stops in her Ginetta, the O'Brien Cherrington Clio, James Black in his Clio, the success penalty harming him this time, then Arthur McMahon's Honda Civic, the Gibbons and Vinor Meyer Ginetta, Anthony Hutchins after a stop-go penalty in his Porsche was 22nd, 23rd for the Cooks, McMahon and Plant in the Alfa Romeo were next home, and the final finisher Alistair Lindsay. We lost Tucker and Graham at the pit stops halfway through. Several stops and eventually a retirement for James Chase's Mazda, and Steve Rothery an early casualty in his Peugeot. Well, that's about all from Brands Hatch Indy Circuit here today. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Some great racing from the junior saloon cars, the BMWs and the Britcar Endurance Championship as well. Thank you to the drivers for their entertainment and to all their teams for looking after the cars. Thanks to the medical staff, recovery crews and all the other officials here at Brands Hatch today. But today's racing was all about the volunteer marshals. Quite simply, we could not go racing without them. And today we raced in memory of one of their member, Rob Foote. Today was all about saying thank you to the Orange Army for their services week in, week out on their posts in long hours, in all weathers, to enable our stars of motorsports to do what they do. Thank you very much indeed to the Orange Army. And goodbye from Brands Hatch.